Excuse me. So what we're going to look at today is Explain Everything. And this is the app that was the first app that you paid for. And you're going to see here in a minute why you paid for it, because it is very, very powerful when it comes time to creating screencasts. So Explain Everything is right below the Game Center, kind of as like a light bulb with kind of aha, I get it type things. So when I click on that, it's going to come up, and the first thing you're going to do is get this welcome guide. And basically you can go through and you can scroll through and you can go to the welcome guide, or you can close it. For now I'm going to close it, and it comes up to my main canvas. And my main canvas has nothing on it right now because I have not created anything on this particular iPad. But when in the top left hand corner I have the plus sign. And when I hit that plus sign, it gives me a couple of different options. It gives me 4 different background options. Actually 3 different backgrounds: white, black, and green. And then it gives the color templates that are going to come with that. So for the first particular one, you have black, red, and blue with a white background. And then the second one is black with a white, pink, and a lightish greenish background, and you can see so on and so forth. That is in the landscape mode. I can change that if I'd like to the portrait mode, which I really don't highly suggest because landscape gives you a lot more room to work with in my mind. And also you have the 16:9 HD TV, which is a newer option. That's if you want to display it and you have a high definition TV in your classroom and you're going to show that in that particular setting. For me, I'm going to stick with landscaping, and I like the black background, so I'm going to click on it. Now it always gives me a tip of some sort. Tap and hold or double tap the draw shape or text tool icon to change options. Okay, I get it. Now, this is my canvas, and it is very, very overwhelming. I'm going to do my best to explain from top to bottom and then from left to right on the bottom section. So follow me as I go along. The first option is the hand tool, and I'm going to come back to that option because I want to have some information to show you first. So the second option, which has a blue square around it, is my pen option, and you can see that there's an arrow that goes to the right. When I click and hold that arrow, I get a couple of options. This is going to change the width of my pen, and I have 8 different widths there. For me particular, I like to use the top 4, and I like either using the 3rd or the 4th option, only because when I'm drawing or writing things, I don't want to have a huge thickness in terms of the pen size. So that's my pen size. Now, go all the way down for a second, and right now you see a white check mark in the check mark box. So if I start to draw something, and for this option I'm just going to write my name, you can see the width of my pen, and you can see the color that I have because of the check mark that is down here, right there. If I wanted to use pink, I could click on that and notice that the check mark changes now, and let me write my last name so that here it is now. And I'm using my finger to draw on my iPad. And then if I wanted to use the green one, I would just click on it, and now all of a sudden my text would be green. And that's the pen option. Now, I can go back up to the hand option now. When I click on the hand option, you can see that I can move everything, and I can also pinch and make things smaller or rotate things around like so. And when I pinched, I used my thumb and my pointer finger, and I just pinched in a little bit. And now I can move that around. And that's my hand tool. So first 2 tools, piece of cake. The 3rd tool underneath the pen tool is my highlighter, and you can see again there's an arrow that goes out to the right. When I click and hold, I get the thickness of my highlighter as well. And right now you can see that it's on the 4th thickness, or the 2nd to largest. I'm going to come down here a little bit to the smaller one. And notice that it's the blue is highlighted, so now I can highlight or underline something with the blue. Okay, so that's the highlighter feature. Underneath the highlighter feature, I have the shapes, and I can click on the shapes, and again there's another kind of action out arrow. So when I click and hold, I have 6 different shapes. I have the circle, the square, the line segment, and a star. And I also have a border that can go with that. So I'm going to give you a shape of a square right now, and it's going to be in the blue color because blue is check marked. So when I do that, I go ahead and I'm going to click inside my canvas anywhere, and I'm going to click and drag. I can make that rectangle there, or I can make a square here. Okay, and notice my hand option comes up, so now I can start to move that. I can start to make it smaller or larger after the initial piece. I can do all kinds of stuff there. So that is my square option. If I click to shapes again, and click and hold. Maybe I want to do the line here, but I want to make it white. So I click on white, and now I click the line. The hand option comes up. That's way too large for me, so I want to make it a little bit smaller and rotate it around and point out my TT, my double T there. Okay. So those are my different shapes that I have, and you can see that there's some other options there. Underneath the shapes is my text tool, and again, I have another option. When I click and hold, I can do that, and now I have my fonts. So I can change my fonts, and they give several fonts to choose from, and I can just scroll through and look at all those, and I'm scrolling really fast. I also have the font size, the border, and auto group. So if I just want to pick some sort of font here, I can now type my name, click anywhere in my canvas, and this pops up, and my keyboard pops up. And I can type in my name there. When I'm finished, I can hit the check mark, the green check mark up in the top right-hand corner, and now my name, and notice that the hand is there, so now I can rotate, I can make it a little bit larger, smaller. Maybe I want to put it in this box here. Okay, so you see how I'm working things with that hand tool several different times. So that again is the A is the font. When I want to do anything, I just want to click and I want to just add something there. Okay, underneath the A, I have a plus sign. And when I have this plus sign, it gives me 6 different options, and these are where the power of Explain Everything comes in. The first option here is to add a photo, a video, or a file. Okay, next one is an existing sound, so some sort of music if you'd like to. Math equation for all of my math folks, a new photo, a new video, or a web browser. Okay, so let me go over each of them for you. I'm going to add another screen here, and I'm going to click that plus sign again, and I can add a file. Okay, so now I'm asking to insert an object, and it's going to pull from my photos. So any picture that I take, it'll pull from my photos. If I have a Dropbox account, it'll pull from that. Google Drive, iTunes, Box is another one. OneDrive is Microsoft's version. Evernote, we might get into, and then iCloud and different apps. So I can click on any one of those and I can activate, and let's see, I don't have any photos on this particular iPad. Nope, I don't have anything. Let's check my photo stream. Nope, I have nothing. Family. Nope, I have nothing on this iPad. Okay, so you get the idea there. Let me hit the plus sign again. So you can add any sort of file, video. You can add PDFs and draw on PDFs. I could do the same thing for sounds. This would take music. If I had any sort of music on my iPad, it would take and insert music. I don't have any music. Math equations is the next one, and let me explain this to you. Okay, similar to when I added text, except this time I have all these different math equations. And some of them I remember doing, but I don't know how to use them or whatnot. But those that teach math would understand a little bit more about sine and cosine and tangent and cotangent. I know the language, but I don't know what all those things mean. But what I do know is that I have an option to do a mixed number. And I can click on this box there. Let me get out of this. Let's just move that out of the way. Okay, so when I go here and I want to click into my mixed number, I get this option, and now I can do 3 and 32, and then I'm going to click up top there, 2/3. 32 and 2/3. Isn't that beautiful? I can click the hand and I can make it move it a little bit. I can make it a little bit larger. So now I have 32 and 2/3. I'm going to click my pen. I'm going to do an addition symbol. I'm going to click back here to math equations, and now I'm going to add another fraction. Oops. Let me try that one more time. Sorry about that. So this time I'm going to add 2 and 1/3. And I can click the hand, make it a little bit larger. Now I have a math equation that the students can solve. So that is really, really powerful, and that is the plus sign, and you can play all around with the math equations. I could take a new photo if I wanted to. I could do a new video. So I had a video and a video type of thing, and then I have a web browser. And the web browser is great. Let me click on the web browser. Double tap on the browser will let you browse and annotate web pages within it, and tapping anywhere else will let you exit the browser and move it as a normal object. So I want to go and I think about the beginning of the year and all those websites that you have to explain to students the first week of school. So what you can do here is you can annotate by using the pen, and I could start to mark up maybe, maybe not. I'm on white, duh. I can annotate websites and point out things about signing into Google and doing image search and looking at this more section. Okay, do you see the power of this? So I could do all different types of things at the beginning of the year by annotating websites. And that, again, was hitting that plus sign and doing a new web browser. Okay, so those are the first couple options. Underneath that plus sign, all right, I have an X. And select the object you wish to delete and press X. So I want to delete this object, and then I'm going to press the X here, and it deleted it. Press this X, and notice that it's going to delete my writing that's there. So I hit that, do it again, and this time I'm going to delete my whole Google thing, and that's there. Remember I made those mistakes earlier with the fractions? So I can click on the X, click on that, and then delete it. Click on the X, click on that, and then delete it. So now I have my option there, which is great. So that's the delete option. Underneath the delete option, I have a laser pointer. And again, you see that there's more than one laser pointer. So when I click on that, I have multiple different laser pointers. And this is really cool because what I can do is I can drag my finger across, and as I'm recording something, it would actually start to record. So that's really neat. I've used this before for students that struggle with fluency. I'd pull a PDF in of something that they were reading, and I'd have them actually annotate or follow along using the pointer, looking for one-to-one matching. Primary students can use it. Upper elementary, middle school, high school students could use it to practice fluency. So those are the pointer options, and there's a ton of them in there. Next up is the information button option, and this one is if you want to make things together and kind of merge them together and group them together or duplicate them. This is the button that you want to use here. So for this one here, I want to group 32 2/3 plus 2 1/3 and put it all together as one object. So I can click on that here and I can hit group. And now what happens, hopefully, come on, ungroup, group. Okay, so now it's not working. Sorry about that. It usually works. Ungroup, let's group it. There we go. Now we can group those things together. Okay, so I had to click on the 2 1/3. So now I've grouped those two things together, or before they were independent, and now I can maneuver them and change them and duplicate them and do all those different things. So let me click on this again, that information button, and I can click on it, and I can lock it so that I don't want it to go anywhere. I could duplicate it, I could copy it, I could flip it if I wanted to. If I had something and I wanted to bring it to the front or bring it to the back, that's all in that information button there. So that's a powerful button to get used to. Next is my undo button, in case I want to undo something because I messed something up. This is my zoom in button, so that I can zoom in on something. So that is there for us if we really want to hone in on something particular. I'm thinking for my science folks, my social studies folks, if you're looking at maps or cells or some sort of anatomy or something of that nature that you need to zoom in on, you could do that, and that's there. This last option underneath the magnifying glass kind of minimizes all the tools over here on the left-hand side. Okay, so it kind of limits the options that you have. And I think this is great for students. If you want students to actually use Explain Everything, you can minimize it so they only see certain things there. For us particular, we're just going to stay with this. Okay,